In Lagos, the city that never sleeps, there are nights when even the streetlights seem afraid to shine. That Friday evening, Kemi strutted down Allen Avenue in Ikeja as if the whole world existed to applaud her steps. Her heels clicked on the pavement like a drummer tapping bata rhythms. Her phone was glued to her ear as she bragged in loud English about how magnetic she had been at the club. She laughed, claiming that men had followed her as bees chased after honey, her voice rising above the honks of Danfos and the roar of Okadas weaving like mad spirits through traffic. At her side, dragged along by a pink leash, trotted her little dog Poo-Poo. The poor thing panted, nails scraping against the concrete, but Kemi paid no attention. She was too busy holding her phone up to capture her reflection in the glass of a shopfront, twisting her waist, tilting her wig, puckering lips for a perfect selfie. The air smelled of roasted suya and fried akara, mingling with exhaust fumes. Kemi wrinkled her nose. She hissed when a sudden drizzle began to fall. "This Lagos rain no get respect," she muttered, tucking her phone under her bag. "See as he go scatter my wig," but Poo-Poo resisted her tugging. The dog whimpered, ears stiff, eyes fixed on a narrow alley that cut between two abandoned shops. From that shadow, pairs of yellow eyes appeared, glowing with hunger. A growl broke the silence, low and dangerous. At first, Kemi thought they were strays, the kind that loitered around market dustbins. But these were no ordinary dogs. They were gaunt and fierce, ribs showing, saliva dripping from tongues. Hunger had hardened them. Driven from the forests by fire and heat, they had made the city their hunting ground. Poo-Poo barked weakly. The pack surged forward. Kemi screamed, clutching the dog to her chest, stumbling in her high heels. Tires screeched as a Keek driver swerved. Horns blared, voices shouted, but the animals were faster. The night erupted with chaos. Blood sprayed the pavement, and within minutes, Kemi's laughter and selfies were gone, swallowed by the city. By dawn, Lagos had already moved on. On the radio, Yoruba and Pidgin voices narrated it with uneasy laughter. Another influencer don turn meat, she day form slay queen, but see wed in chop am. Omo, this Lagos don day wildo. Experts explained that bushfires near Oyo had driven packs of wild dogs into urban areas. They were hungry, fearless, and desperate. Reports followed of goats stolen, children snatched from gates, even Okada men dragged from their seats. Yet for most Lagosians, it was just one more bizarre story in a city full of them. Far away in Surulere, life went on. Kunle and his wife, Ife, had just moved into a new compound with their teenage daughter, Ada. That morning, a man knocked on their gate. He introduced himself as Depo, a pest control expert. He wore faded overalls, carried a toolbox, and had the restless eyes of someone who believed every house hid secrets. "Anywhere rats day I day," he boasted as he walked around the compound. He tapped the walls with his knuckles, pointing to cracks and pipes. "These things fit chew through anything, even toilet. If una no careful, dem go turn this place to their own kingdom." Kunle chuckled nervously, scratching his chin. I folded her arms, skeptical. But Depo went on, more animated with each example. He described rats swimming up pipes, chewing wires, spreading disease. Then he gave a crooked grin. "Once you see pest, no day pity am. Kill em sharp sharp. If not go day disturb you, not the same treatment. Even dog sef." Ada gasped. "Our bingo?" Depo laughed too loudly, waving his hand. "No worry, not joke." But Ife's smile was thin. Something about him unsettled her. That night, thunder rolled over the city. The rainy season had come with full power, and the sky cracked open as lightning slashed across the clouds. Palm trees bent under the wind. The power blinked, then died completely. The family lit candles, their shadows dancing on the freshly painted walls. Bingo, their dog, barked furiously at the window. Ada pressed her face to the glass. "Daddy, I swear something day outside." Kunle sighed, grabbing a stick. When he opened the gate, he saw a half-starved dog crouched in the rain, its eyes shining like coals. He hissed and swung the stick, chasing it away. But before he could turn back, a massive almond tree cracked and fell, smashing onto his car. Glass shattered. Sparks hissed as electric wires tore down with it. Kunle's heart sank. He remembered his father's warning to cut that tree before rainy season. He had laughed it off, saying, "Later." Now later had arrived. The storm raged until dawn, leaving zinc sheets scattered across the street, buckets overturned, gutters overflowing. In the morning, I found something at the edge of the driveway, a cat's collar, bent and smeared with blood. She carried it to their eccentric neighbor, Tay, who lived alone in the next house. Tay only shrugged. "Lucy no dey come home last night. Maybe she waka go find boyfriend." He spoke as he scooped Thai rice from a plastic container, as if the missing cat was a minor inconvenience compared to his cold dinner. I've returned unsettled. Kunle, meanwhile, tried to scrub the driveway clean, but a reddish stain clung stubbornly to the ground. The smell was heavy, metallic. Ada shivered as she watched, whispering, "Daddy, no animal blood." Kunle forced a laugh. "A beg, Lagos they show us film. Nothing they happen." But deep inside, he knew something was wrong. Later that evening, the compound buzzed with unease. Neighbors whispered in small groups. Someone claimed they had seen wild dogs prowling at night. Another swore they heard screams. Tolu, a jovial man from 2 houses down, picked up his flashlight. "Make I go help Sheila fix her generator." He waved, disappearing into the dark. Minutes passed, then hours. His screams rose faintly, mixing with the distant howls of dogs. By the time people rushed to check, he was gone. Inside Kunle's house, candles flickered. The family sat around the dining table, eating bread and sardine. They tried to laugh, but the atmosphere was heavy. Ada fidgeted with her food. Finally, she blurted out, "Mommy, I get confession. I dey give those dogs food. Akara and fish roll way I buy with my money. I think say maybe them dey hungry." The silence that followed was sharp. Ive's spoon clattered onto her plate. Kunle's eyes widened. "Jesu," Ive whispered. "Ada, now you dey attract them here." Tears welled in Ada's eyes. "I just pity them." Kunle rubbed his head, his anger dulled by fear. "This na serious wahala." The night deepened. The howls grew louder, not single voices but a chorus, like spirits gathering outside the walls. Bingo barked madly, scratching at the door. The windows rattled under claws. Suddenly, a shadow leapt. A forgotten window burst open. A dog slipped inside, its body gaunt but powerful, eyes burning. Ada screamed and hid under the stairs. Kunle shouted commands as if it were a trained pet. "Sit, heel." The animal snarled and lunged. I've grabbed the fire extinguisher and sprayed, white foam blinding it. She slammed the door shut behind it. Her chest heaved, but her eyes blazed. In that moment, she looked like a warrior. Kunle collapsed, trembling. He hated the sight of blood. Once at Christmas, he had fainted while cutting turkey. Now his fear of blood returned with shameful force. I've pressed her palm to his shoulder. "Hold yourself, Kunle. If you fall, who go protect us?" They argued deep into the night. I've accused him of being absent, always working, never present in their small flat before they moved. She said she missed those days because at least he was around. Kunle swore everything he did was for the family. Their words clashed like thunder, but underneath it all was fear of losing Ada. Fear of the beast circling outside. Ada sat quietly, stroking Bingo, whispering apologies. By midnight, the generator died. Phones drained to silence. Darkness swallowed the compound. Kunle decided they could not wait. They would build a cage, like a shark cage, to protect themselves. His hands shook as he hammered wood and metal scraps together. He played old high-life music on a small radio to steady his nerves. Upstairs, I've whispered to Ada that sometimes in marriage, love showed itself most in struggle. As Kunle worked, he stumbled on something shocking in the backyard, a den of puppies. Baby dogs, whimpering, eyes still cloudy. He realized then why the pack had been so vicious. They were not only hunting, they were defending family. Kunle lifted the pups gently, though his stomach churned. He whispered to the night, "Your family for mine." At dawn, the pack surrounded him, growling, teeth bared. He placed the puppies down, heart pounding. The dogs sniffed, whined, then circled. Finally, they took back their young and slunk into the bush. Kunle collapsed with relief. He radioed inside. "Ada, it worked." Their cheer rang out. tears of joy spilling. But peace was short. More shadows appeared. Julie, another neighbor, screamed as she was dragged down. Gunshots echoed from Tay's house. Chaos erupted. Kunle staggered inside. I've pulled him to his feet, wielding a fire extinguisher like a sword. They gathered Ada, clutched Bingo, and sprinted to the van. As Kunle jammed the gear stick, choir music burst from the radio, absurdly calm against the chaos. Behind them, their house exploded in sparks as a gas leak caught fire. The night blazed red. The van jolted downhill. Ada clung to her mother, whispering prayers. I've held Kunle's bleeding arm, whispering, "You're still here. That's enough." Kunle gripped the wheel with trembling hands. We survive. Now the only thing we fit do. The city opened before them. Wide and dangerous, but they were together. In the distance, baby dogs whimpered, and the howls of the pack rose once more. In Lagos, survival is a rhythm. One day it is traffic, another day it is hunger, another day it is the beast that the city itself creates. But always, those who endure learn the same truth. A person who forgets that family is the first fortress will soon find the walls of the world too weak to save them. And as the elders say, when the bush sea rise at night, it is not only the hunters who lose sleep.